G'day everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing my round 2 for my fantasy and SuperCoach teams for the 2024 AFL season. So with both games, it seemed that I did score below the par, as unfortunately I have gone down in both of the games' rankings. But it is what it is. It still is really early days, I think, when you look at it. Best 18 scoring for the next few weeks, so you can't really look at the season and overall rankings too much, I think. Looking at my team, we'll kick off with fantasy. I still think it's in decent shape. I think I've got good rookies, but I just need to start, nailing some trades, getting rid of some players that probably hold too much value. Players like Butterick, for example, maybe like Sexton, etc., and start to really trade in some good quality players. So yeah, we'll go with the review first with fantasy, with just throughout the line. So first up, I got a 1772 and went down about 5,000 in the overall rankings. So obviously not the greatest score. Captain score could have been a little bit better, but yeah, I mean the defense was pretty mediocre. If you didn't own 𝐓𝐡𝐞, you're going to have a good round. Not really too many spike scores, I guess you can say as well. Didn't own Jackson in the forward line too, so that obviously did hurt. But yeah, we'll kick off with the play-by-play review. So first off, 𝐓𝐡𝐞. I didn't want to put the VC on him. I wanted to put it on someone else, but I forgot to take the VC off him because I was too busy setting up the stream for the Thursday night live watch-along. So unfortunately, I copped that, and 61, very disappointing. His worst score since his second game, I'm pretty sure, in the system. So pretty much a career worst game from him. Just really ordinary. He didn't really get much service from his teammates. Like usually when he'd get a handball receive or a kick to him, he just didn't really get. Just looked a bit flat there. And alongside the old Collingwood side, it's hard to score well and it's hard to succeed in a side that's not playing too great. So he knows that he'll be pretty disgusted with himself, and I think he's an absolute star. So hopefully he can bounce back. People might trade him out, but I certainly don't have the luxury to consider trading him out. So hopefully he bounces back against Brisbane. 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴 121, so ticking along nicely. It's just a really good quality defender that just racks up the football. Hayden Young, 75. Bit of a disappointing score from him. Certainly after this game, I was like, okay, this guy's gone for sure. But now, since the rest of the round's played out, again, I don't know if I can afford to let him go. I think for SuperCoach, it's much more of a different tale because his break-even is very high and he's scoring a lot worse in that format because he's picking up clangers. He's been really ineffective by foot. But for fantasy, look, he just gets kicks, he gets marks, he gets tackles. That's all that matters. And the good thing, at least with him, is the role was still there. He didn't go into defence. He was still on the ball. He was still getting CBAs. And I think, especially in the second half, it was a very free-flowing game. Fremantle got a lot of uncontested marks and there wasn't too many stoppages. He just wasn't really getting involved in many chains. So, look, I still think he's a good player and I'll probably hold him for now and hopefully he can bounce back because he really should have turned up last week in round 1. And they're against Adelaide this week back at home. So, yeah, fair enough if you're wanting to trade him out to maybe like a 𝘖𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐴 or a Jordan Clark who's scoring really well lately. But I just can't do it with my team at the moment. Elliot Yeo, 98. Yeah, happy with him. Even though his TOG, he's on the bench twice a quarter with 70%. And in the second half, he was struggling a bit to get from contest to contest. When he's out there, he still is really tackling well. I mean, he was a ball magnet in the first half. He got 19 disposals. So, yeah, you're definitely taking 98 from Yeo. Hopefully, we can see more performances like that week in, week out. But yeah, his break-even 60. He's gained 20k. So yeah, hopefully we can see that week in, week out from him. Connor Butterick, the failure starting selection from me. 61. Yeah, really, really poor selection. In the end, he had the 88 in his system. He had a break-even as 6, and I'm like, okay, if this guy can score 70, 75 plus, I think we could be on the cards for a good mid-pricer. But then you have a player like Massimo D'Ambrosio, who's scoring much better than him, and Butterick, 25 last week, 6-1 this week. He's gone for me. Just a really a big failure there. Blake Howes with a 78. He's looking really good. The last 3 rounds, he's pretty much scored 70 pluses in all 3 games. And not only is he scoring well, when watching him, he's actually looking really good out there. Like, he's made some really good defensive acts. He's played really well one-on-one, especially when the ball gets out the back. So, yeah, he's looking like a real gem for Melbourne in their back half. And with Stephen May going down for potentially a little bit, it could maybe help him with scoring. So, yeah, I think he's a fieldable player. So I might as well keep him on field for the next few weeks. And then, yeah, Zach Williams with the bye. So in he comes. And Marty Hall is sub. He was the sub, Marty Hall. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Like, why would Gouldo have a key position player as the sub? You never really do that, but what a coincidence. Stephen May goes down. Really disappointing in the injury in the end with 3 broken ribs. I'm hearing it's like 2 to 3 weeks, so it could help with Hall's job security perhaps. And also, he got 33.5, so if he's playing a full game, we're looking at a 60 plus from him. So hopefully, he can at least start this weekend and score maybe a nice 60 plus to maybe get his cash generation going a bit better. Midfield now, Connor Rozee, 116. Looked really good out there against the Tigers. Sort of reminds me of Brayshaw a little bit on how he likes to push up the ground and get marks. That's a big part of his scoring. He could have kicked a goal or two as well, but missed a few. I think he kicked 0 goals too. But yeah, take that. Starting selection so far so good. He's gone 110 plus in both games. Same can be said with Steele and honestly Tuke Miller. Both these players have been great. Steele backed himself up with a great performance on Thursday. I mean, he looks good out there. He's moving well. He's tackling well. He's helping in transition as well for the Saints. And yeah, Tuke, his body's looking great. I think he's primed for a big year, as I say again. And he could have gotten a lot bigger than 109. He was on, I think, 95 at 3/4 time. So yeah, 2 weeks in a row now, he's sort of had a stagnant 4th term. But I mean, yeah, he's looking like pretty much one of their best midfielders alongside Rao. Nick Martin, 103. I think for fantasy especially, the role is there. Hopefully he can pick up a spike score here or there. But he had, I saw this 96% time on ground. So basically he's having a key defender time on ground numbers here. He's just really important on how they move the footy. He was taking kick-ins. He was receiving marks in the back half. He's pretty much playing the quarterback role for the Dons. So, yeah, just keep, owning him, and hopefully he can maybe chip out a 120 perhaps this week against the Saints. And we all know the Saints do love to give up points. Rolly Bonner, 61. Not ideal from him. But he got a 0 in quarter 1, then literally a 3 in quarter 2. In quarter 3. And then for quarter 2 and quarter 4, he was able to make up, in the end, 58 points. So the upside's still there for me. I think, especially for the Saints, when they play at the G, usually a player like Bonner can get caught on the outer side of the wing. Because, it's a big ground, the MCG, and, the Saints were usually just keeping it down the skinny side of the ground, but still, methodically working their way down the ground, whilst at Marvel Stadium, where they're playing at this week, they usually like to switch it a bit more. So hopefully Bonner can get involved a bit more with the marks and etc. But if he can be more consistent for 4 quarters, he should be scoring over 80 because the role's still there. Look, I know that Sinclair maybe has hurted him a little bit, but he still looked okay out there. So yeah, I think I'll keep on owning him, and hopefully he can bounce back. Colby McKercher, Robertson Sanders. This is exactly why I wanted to trade out Newcomb, because I felt these guys are very fieldable. It would help my structure a little bit more with freeing up a bit of cash, and it's turned out to be great. These 3 are looking great on the field. McKercher playing across half-back. Matty Roberts as well, as a Swan supporter, had a great game on Saturday. He's already looking like a really reliable player. And Riley Sanders was good too. Didn't get subbed, so yeah, I think we can expect a 70-plus score week in, week out from him. So yeah, looking good fielding those 3 rookies. Jai Clark, a 45. He was interesting. He had so many cases on Friday where, he was able to get first to the ball, and then he just fumbled and coughed it up a bit. So look, I think he could be a 60-plus scorer if he can just neaten himself up. With his inside midfield craft, but maybe he's just a little bit of a beat off it, and maybe he just needs to gain the match fitness a bit more. And look, he'll probably get better with match experience as well. But yeah, he looks like not a bad player. I love his attack on the footy. But yeah, let's hope we can maybe see a 60 or 70 plus over the next few weeks from him. Jeremy Sharp with the 73. I got this guy in this week, or should I say last week, and yeah, happy with that. Was out on the wing against North Melbourne. I think he got like a 50 at halftime. Happy with that for a rookie, and he's gaining some good cash. I mean, what did he gain this week? Let's have a look. He gained 54k. You beauty. Max Gawn put the skipper on him, and yeah, it didn't really pay off too much in the end. He averages the most against the Hawks out of any team, so I thought, this could be a big week for him. But yeah, it wasn't really to be. So it was 107 from him in the end. He started off slow, but then recovered well. Yeah, could have gotten a little bit better of a captain score like Rosie or Steele. I was considering putting the VC on Shees. I would have definitely taken that. But yeah, cost myself a bit of points there. Brodie Grundy with a 90. I'll take that from him. Yeah, a lot of people obviously traded him out to Cherry, but I wanted to keep the faith in him. And I'll take that. He was mediocre, I felt, in the first half against Draper and Goldstein. But yeah, used his body really well in the second half and was able to help out a lot more in contests. So yeah, happy with his performance. Harry Barnett played this week, so you take a bit of the cash gain. You know, you'll have to see it. Isaac Heaney. I'll tell you what, he's looking like he's on 9 Brownlow votes at the moment. He is looking electric. You know, he's just moving so well. His work rate is fantastic. He's getting from contest to contest. He's so clean in the cold face as well. You know, he rarely puts a foot wrong, and his efficiency by hand and by foot is great too. And we all know can make an impact inside 50. He took a few marks inside 50. He was able to kick a goal. He's looking like a ripper of a starting selection. Let's hope he can continue the form. Zach Fisher with an 85. I said in last week's video, try and hold on to him because I feel like he'd bounce back. The role's still there. And yeah, you take that from him. He got actually a ton in SuperCoach. So that really reflects on how good he was. I thought his kicking was much better than round 1. And he was looking good out there. The time on ground, yeah, it wasn't too great. I mean, in the end, let's have a look. It was only 74%. And look, the downside with him is I think with North's back half, there's probably too many mouths to feed. But if he can keep on chipping away with an 80 plus each week, you definitely take that from a player like him. Jack Billings, I traded him in this week as well. And yeah, I only got a 70 in the end. I was hoping for a little bit more perhaps with him. But I think with a player like Billings at the price and the role, if he can chip away with a 70 plus each week and maybe get a spike game here or there, he'll keep on gaining cash. And yeah, I think could be a good trade in the end. James Jordan with a 76, so yeah, he's been scoring well. What we expected, just 3 70s in a row. You'll love to see it. Kicked a goal late as well. It was a lovely goal from the boundary. And yeah, I just like the look of him as a 𝐼𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐴 supporter. Just the run-of-the-mill, top of midfielder, work rate really good. Able to, you know, help out in multiple contests up and down the ground. And yeah, just does the little things well. So liking him so far. And yeah, probably will look to trade him out after West Coast in the round 5 bye, given he could be one of the first players out, I personally think, when Parker and Adams and Mills do come back in. Alex Sexton, yeah, really disappointing score from him. 49, was disappointing the first half, was getting carried away. His tempers were flaring up quite a bit. He was getting involved in fights. And then he moved into the forward line on the third term and yeah, was just looking nowhere near it. Yeah, really disappointing. I think with the value is at 470k. Like, he could still make you a bit of cash, but his value is too much. And he's got the bye this week. So I think you've just got to get rid of him. That's going to be my plans for sure. And then, yeah, decide to field Harley Reid to finish out the best 18 scoring. Only a 56. I thought he'd score quite well, given it's the first game at home for him. And he'd look pretty settled out there. And look, I felt when he did get his chances, he looked quite good out there. Like, he was breaking tackles. Like, his core strength is fantastic as well. He stands up and tackles so well. And, geez, he's tough. Like, he was able to bump a few players, cop a few bumps himself, and he'd just get right back up. So, I really, of course, we all know he could be, he has very high potential. And I'm hoping maybe he could produce a spike game here or there. But started the game off all right. But 56 in the end. I think the goal is you want to try and get these forward rookies off your field as quick as possible. So, yeah, and then moving to the bench, Darcy Wilson, Aaron Cadman. I mean, Wilson had a very good second half against the Pies on Thursday night. And Cadman, yeah, expected score from him against West Coast. Was able to kick a goal right at the death after the siren, so you'll take that for a bit of a plus 12. You'll love to see it. So that definitely helps his cash a bit more. -3. And then next week he's got, the week after, he's got Gold Coast. I think that's in Adelaide. And yeah, the Saints. So, yeah, I think you just got to keep the faith in him. Hopefully he can gain out a bit more coin. And then, yeah, Charlie Lazaro got subbed. He could be out of the side this week. Hopefully he can stay for one more week because, yeah, he's probably going to be part of my trade plans the week after. So, yeah, these were the trades. Brought 𝐼𝐴𝐻𝐼𝐴 out. Thank God. 68 in the end. And he scored, Billings scored more than him. So it's a net profit. I'm gaining money and gaining points with that trade out. And, yeah, Jeremy Sharp. Happy with him, and then, yeah, took out Clay Hall because I brought him in so I could take 𝐸𝐻𝐼𝐴𝐻's score in round 1. Okay, so my trades for fantasy. This is what I am thinking early on. So, as I said, 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐎𝐥𝐝 for me. Yeah, just really disappointing of a starting pick, and he has the bye this week, holding too much value. You need to pick a better play here. I've been considering Massimo D'Ambrosio, but I think when you look at my team, especially my defence line, D'Ambrosio's been scoring well, of course, but you look at Howes, you look at Zach Williams, they are players that are capable of scoring what D'Ambrosio is at the moment. Williams can definitely go 90. Howes could go 80 plus. That's probably a bit too much to ask for him, but again, it's best 18 scoring this week. So my thought is D'Ambrosio would be good, but I've got players that can score well here. And I feel like my backline would be a bit too top heavy and not really balanced. And then when you look at my midfield, I mean, Jeremy Sharp, I'm going to have to field an extra rookie this week with 𝐷𝐞 with the bye. And also my forward line, like I've got 2 rookies fielding at the moment, or rookie pretty much scorers at the moment. So I feel like I'd rather float my cash and help out and bring in a player, either a mid or a forward, to really strengthen those areas. So yeah, I like the Massimo pick, but for my structure, it doesn't work. So for me, I'm going to be going down to a rookie so I can get cash to trade out Sexton to a player I like. So 𝐓𝐴, yeah, we'll go down to a rookie. Pink is definitely one, but I actually really need every bit of money for me to do this trade the following week that I'm thinking about. So I'm just going to have to go Draper for now. Hopefully Shaun Dux gets a debut. He looked good in the VFL. I doubt he does, because Saints probably head into the game this weekend unchanged because they were very good. So for me, Draper, I'll go with him. He looked good in the first term. He was already on like 20 points halfway through the first quarter in that game against North. And he looked good. And from Fremantle fans' reactions, they're saying, yeah, keep him in. So I'll go with Draper. Just, yeah, your rookie defender trade. It's very scarce, the defender rookies at the moment. So, yeah, just go with Draper for now. So, yeah, 𝐓𝐴 out. And for now, my next trade, Alex Sexton is gone for me. Yeah, just holds too much value. He's got the bye this week. So he's gone. And yeah, I think when you look at my forward line, I really should have started Jackson or Flanders alongside 𝐻𝐸. So yeah, the lack of a primo there, or lack of a good score, is hurting. So for me, I've got to bring in a forward. I'll trust Sharp to score maybe another 70 plus. And you've got these rookies here, plus Bonner, that are capable of scoring well. So I think I've got to bring in a forward here. I'm liking the look of Luke Jackson, but long term, it probably won't be a great pick, because what will happen when 𝐼𝐻𝐸 comes back in. So I was a bit skeptical when hearing this guy, but honestly, doing a bit more research, I think I might go with him. I'm going to be going with Tom Powell. Now, he's another one of these mid prices, and it's always probably a no-no with fantasy. You never want to try and trade in too many mid prices, because then you're wasting time and you're not really getting in, your primos. But Powell's an interesting one, right? So he has the second most CBAs for North Melbourne so far this year, behind 𝐿𝑑𝑢. And he had the most centre bounces attendees against Fremantle on the weekend. So, yeah, they really rate this guy. And he's been looking really good out there. He's been accumulating well. He's been able to hit the scoreboard too and kick nicely inside 50. And when you compare himself to 𝐿𝑑𝑢, Luke Davies-Uniacke in his 3rd year averaged about 50. Same with Tom Powell. 𝐿𝑑𝑢 in his 4th year averages 81. Whilst Powell, now in his 4th year, could he have a breakout season? So he's already put up a 78 and a 113. He's priced at about 65, so I think he could be averaging 80 plus from this point onwards. So I think Powell is one to really get on. Again, I'd love to go Jackson, but with bringing in Powell, next week I can go Harley Reid and Lazaro down to Harvey Thomas and bring in Flanders after his bye. So that's my thinking with bringing in Powell. Then, the next week I can bring in Flanders, and then look at that. The forward line's looking much stronger because, yeah, I did not start an extra promo on the forward line. So that's what I'm thinking for fantasy. That's my thoughts. I think Powell could be a good scorer. He's looked good. And, yeah, he has the numbers. He has the centre bouncer, so hopefully he can be good for me. But, yeah, that's my early thoughts for fantasy with the trades. Now let's move across to SuperCoach. Okay, across now to the SuperCoach, and I got myself a 1955. So similar to fantasy, went down about 5,000 spots in the rankings, and it was odd, to be honest. I felt I'd actually score quite well because I had Some very high scorers this week, and I had a good captain score, but that's how competitive SuperCoach is at the moment. I was nowhere near it, but still ranked in the top 20% overall. So yeah, still in a good zone to gain some ground, especially with the buy rounds this week. No Tom Green has been hurting me, so and no Whitfield as well, so they're not playing this week. So hopefully I can gain a bit of ground in both formats really. Okay, so this is what the team is looking like for the SuperCoach. Put their C on Bontempelli. I mean, what a superhero he is. He was looking like he was injured a little bit in the first half, and then he comes out and kicks some goals. I mean, that snap from the stoppage in the fourth term. How about that? That was absolutely special. What a star he is. And then put the VC on 𝐼𝐴. Didn't want to take it in the end. So going through the lines now. 𝐷𝐴 again, even worse in SuperCoach. Yeah, I thought his overall just intensity was a little bit down, I felt, on Thursday as well. So, yeah, I mean, people will be considering trading him out, but again, I can't. So, hopefully he can bounce back because he is a star. Dan Houston, yeah, really happy with his starting selection. Wanted to pay up for a good quality defender, and should be going 110 plus really this year. He's looking great in the back half for the power. He's moving well by foot. He's taking intercepts. He's doing really well so far. 𝐼𝐴 113. Yeah, just your expected score pretty much for 𝐓𝐡𝐿. What a star he is. Hayden Young, much more different story I think in SuperCoach. When you look at the break even, 165. He's just easily gone for me. He's projected to lose about 50k. If he has another stinker of a performance, so he's gone for me. Yeah, really disappointing. I thought he'd be a good starting pick in SuperCoach because usually he's a classy user, but he's been really ineffective by disposal for sure. Blake Howell, 68. Yeah, happy with that. Yeah, playing really well for Melbourne, in good form. Thank God, though, for best 18 scoring. Nick Caulfield, I had him on field with a 3. So, yeah, he could probably be gone for me this week. I don't know. I'll have a look. I'll have a think about it. Do I go sideways to like a Toby Pink? Probably want to keep on gaining the cash. Then, yeah, Zach Williams with the buy. And then, yeah, Marty Hall got a 12 in SuperCoach whilst he got a 33 in fantasy. So, yeah, no Stephen May for at least the next 2 weeks from what I've been hearing. So, yeah, Hall should come in and hopefully score a bit better and gain some cash. Yeah, Bontempelli, talked about him as the captain. Very, very good in the end. Wowee, but this is the man of the moment. Zach Butters, 175. Really happy starting this guy. Rosie, I have in fantasy. Butters, I have in SuperCoach because Butters is always the better SuperCoach player. It didn't feel like he had a 175 worthy game. He was very good today against the Tigers, but I think it's just because of how effective he was by disposal. Just like every hand pass, every kick forward to centre was hitting a target. Like he was just on fire. He kicked a goal as well. So it was a complete performance in the end really from Zach Butters. So yeah, really happy with him. Yeah, the starting primo selections are looking good. And then yeah, Tuke Miller, solid game from him, 115, has the bye this week. Nick Martin, 93. Yeah, he could be one on the out for me, possibly this week. I know a lot of people got rid of him last week. I was expecting a bounce back. And look, you'd take a 90 plus from him, but it's sort of that awkward range with a player like Nick Martin because, people are bringing in players like Sarong and some top quality primos, and I'm probably missing out on 30s to 40 points. And that's the same with Wines. Like, I feel both players are playing well. It's just that there's sort of that awkward range of points where you're sort of losing out a little bit. You could be trading up to like a Sarong or a big player type. Or like a Zach Merritt. So I think one of these two are gone for me this week. Wines again was good. He looked good out there when he was when he was hand passing. Like he was going well by hand and by foot. But the time on ground and the CBAs again are a bit of a concern. Riley Bonner 49. Yeah, hopefully he bounces back this week. I'll keep the faith in him. I know people will be trading him out, but I started Bonner, and I want to at least see him play his third game, so at least gains a bit of cash. 𝐬𝐿𝐼𝐻 95, yeah, looking really good out there for the Kangas across half back. And then, yeah, Clay Hall I still have. And that allowed me to do a loop out of Sanders or Roberts. Roberts very good. And somehow still in the end I lost the rookie roulette as Sanders managed to actually outscore Roberts. But, yeah, you take that from Matty with a 94 on the field. And then, yeah, Jai Clark with a 60. So that's what I said about in the fantasy segment. I really do rate Jai Clark, and he scored more in SuperCoach than he did in fantasy with the 60. So hopefully we can see some 60 pluses from him over the next few weeks to really get his cash generation going. Max Gorn 113. Yeah, it was very good, but not really a great captain or vice captain score in the end from him. You wanted to take something a lot higher, so did that with Bont, paid off. Brodie Grundy, interesting one. I mean, a 99 is good from him. But, you know, like you've got like Cherry, for example, who's going off. You know, even like Luke Jackson that's going off as well in the ruck. So, yeah, I think, you know, I could have gone the Cherry down last week, but look, I'll keep the faith in him. He was mediocre in the first half, but bounced back really well. And that's a respectable score in the end, I think. But I think the concern with him is how does he go on the big grounds? He's up against Nankervis this week at the MCG against the Tigers. So, look, I'm hoping he can continue the scoring output. But, look, it isn't looking like the greatest starting selection on what we all thought of maybe a 110 plus. So, yeah, hopefully he can just chip away with 95 plus, and that will do for him. 𝐼𝙗𝐿𝐴𝐴 𝐸𝐸, yeah, looking like one of the best players in the comp. Scoring much better in SuperCoach just because of his efficiency and impact on the scoreboard and score involvements in general. Zach Fisher, happy I held him. He was the most traded out player last week, whilst I was thinking, well, I'd rather see him bounce back. I felt like he would because the role is really good. And this week he was much better by foot compared to round one. He was kicking really well, and yeah, you take that. A ton from Zach Fisher, very nice in the end. James Jordan, yeah, looking good as sort of that mid-price or sort of that rookie price player that we all expected from him, averaging 84, 88 in the end. As I said again in the fantasy segment, doing the little things really well, moving from contest to contest nicely, going by foot and hand really well, hitting targets inside 50, and how about that goal late from the boundary? You take that from James Jordan, of course. What a way to get your thirst for your club. And then, yeah, brought in Jack Billings this week. You know, 69, borderline acceptable. Hoping, you know, a little bit better scoring from him, though. But, you know, he's going to gain your money. He's already gained 28k. Break even to -34. Hopefully he can score maybe an 80 plus. That'll be nice this week. And then, yeah, Harley Reid with the 60 plus. Pretty acceptable from him in the end. But, yeah, as I say again, his impact is really good. So, hopefully we can see a bit of a spike game from him over the next few weeks. But maybe he could be gone soon because, you know, he's yet to play his third game and could gain a bit of cash and maybe go across to like a Sam Darcy. So if he's not scoring like an 80 plus here or there, I think he could be gone over the next week or so. Alex Sexton, yeah, he's probably going to be gone for me this week. Yeah, I mean, he's already gained your money. He's gained your 49k, so you take that, and I think you trade up to someone else. The break-even's still low, and he could score well, but he's got his bye this week. And look, if there's better options, I think you've got to get rid of him. Aaron Cadman, a 90. Oh, left him out on the bench. I probably could have fielded him in the end. Yeah, really good score from him. So he's already gained 66k with a break-even of -52. He's going to gain some serious coin. Happy with that. And Darcy Wilson with a 59 in the end. So, yeah, his break-even -51. Yeah, you take that 60 plus from Wilson each week is what we expected. But he's a quality player. He had a very good second half against the Pies. So maybe do we see an 80 plus from him possibly down the line? Who knows? But yeah, that's what it's looking like for SuperCoach. So now for the trades. First one, Hayden Young is easily gone. The break-even's too high. Look, he could bounce back, but you just can't. I mean, for my team as well, personally, I just can't afford to get rid of him. So this is going to be a very popular trade this week. The Young down to D'Ambrosio. You've got to do it. D'Ambrosio's yet to go up in price. He's yet to play his third game, and he's got a break-even of -82. So, you know, he could be gaining as much as 60k this week. You've got to get on him. So we'll complete the first trade there. So, yeah, that does leave me a bit of a primo short, but a lot of people's backline isn't looking too great. So, thank God I started Houston, so that's looking okay. And then, yeah, obviously bring Williams in this week, and then have Howes as the D6, which I feel like is a proven scorer. So far, so good. He's been scoring well the first 3 weeks. And then for my second trade, as I said earlier, I think Martin or Wines, one of them is gone. Martin probably has a bit more of the ceiling, but watching Wines, I think, is a bit more of the safer scorer. And Martin's going to lose me a bit of cash. So this one's a tricky one. I'm just really liking the look of both plays, but considering Martin going by foot hasn't been too great, and Wines is looking, I think, really good in the coalface, I'm probably going to get rid of Martin, and he's holding 30k more, whilst both of them are scoring around 90. So, yeah, Martin for me is gone this week, and I can go up to an uber primo here. A lot of people did this move last week, and I probably should have done it because I didn't use my boost last week. But yeah, I've got to get on this guy before his price changes. Caleb Sarong, he's just been going bananas the first 2 weeks. I mean, He scored a 170 and a 141. I've got to get on him. His break even's 41, so he's going to be gaining, he's going to be going up to probably 660k. Why not just get on the 𝐓𝐴𝐵 right away before his price changes? So yeah, Martin out for Sarong. Look, Martin could bounce back with a 110 plus, definitely, if he goes well by foot. But I think just getting on Sarong for the long run is the right thing to do. And then, yeah, I can field the 3 sort of rookies. Sanders I'm leaving out on the field. So I could trade out Bonner as well, because Sanders you can definitely field. But again, I want to see how Bonner goes for another week. I feel like he can bounce back. And then, yeah, do I boost a trade? I feel like I should. Because again in fantasy I did bring in Tom Powell, and considering I can go Sexton out, who's gained me 50k, so that's looking good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy to get rid of him and bring in Tom Powell, who's 312k. He scored even better. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's been going at 112, so he scored 95 in SuperCoach. He's been going way better in this format because of his impact. I've got to bring this guy in. What's his break even? Minus 47. He's going to gain you some serious coin, and the past 2 weeks he's been going over 90, so I feel like this is a no-brainer of a trade to get rid of Sexton, who has his buy, and bring in an upgrade target of Tom Powell. So yeah, I feel like these 3 trades are going to look pretty good for me. Bringing in the 𝐓𝐴𝐵 of Sarong, I feel like I've got to be a bit aggressive with my trades here. Bring in another top quality midfielder. 𝐷'Ambrosio, the past 2 weeks has been going very well, already averaging 104, whilst 𝐼𝐗𝐤𝐪 hasn't. And then yeah, Tom Powell, talked about him just then, looking really good for North early on, so get on him before the price does change. So that's what it is looking like for the SuperCoach. Hopefully we can bounce a bit more this week. Rightio, so just before we end the video, let's have a quick look at my SuperCoach and fantasy leagues. The codes are up the top right of your screen as you've been seeing the whole video, so feel free to join if you wish. And currently the highest ranker in my fantasy league is Fantasy Prodigy. He's ranked 183rd overall, so well done to you, 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼. So his team in round 2 got a 19-23. That's very good. Put the captain on Tom Green. Thank God he has the bye this week. He's been really hurting me not owning him. Yeah, the 2 primos in the forward line, as I said earlier, was definitely the move in the end. Looks like he went Grundy down there Cherry, so he freed up some cash. So yeah, his team's looking very good. Yeah, sort of similar midfield in a way, where he's got Martin and then Bonner, then the 3 rookies. But yeah, 𝐷'Ambrosio as well, looking like a strong team from Lucas. And for the SuperCoach League, the highest scorer is 𝐓𝐴𝐵, probably a play on Jack Ginnivan. And also his first name is Jack. Is it Jack Ginnivan in my leagues? Probably not. But yeah, he's ranked 778th overall. Good looking team, Tom Green, really should have started him. I think with all the top teams, everybody's owning Green, so he's looking like a ripper of a starting selection. His defense is looking good too. Stuart, Dacos, Sheaves or Young, he'll probably look to trade at Young to probably someone like a Wanganeen Miller perhaps. And yeah, forward line looking good too with Heaney and Jackson. So yeah, very strong side from him. Matt Crouch as well. I had him before I changed to Wines. And yeah, for the highest points scored for the round, it was fun picks only. 21.61, very high score from him. 5,000th really overall. Yeah, Green as a skipper. Merritt went off against the Swans. Yeo was very good in SuperCoach. And yeah, also had the buy with Flanders. So yeah, Jackson went off for him. He had Butters. So if you had Jackson or Butters this week, if you own both, they were definitely going to be going off. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, everybody, for the Fantasy and SuperCoach review. Feel free to comment down below and let me know how you lot are going with your teams. Who you're going to bring in this week. What's your ranks looking like overall? It's still early days, so yeah, try not to get too carried away with your overall ranks if you're going quite well. I mean, if you're going quite bad, obviously it isn't the greatest, but it's still early days. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy, everybody. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you did go on to enjoy. And until next time, I will talk to you later. See you later, folks.